First, fast, and accurate. News Channel 25, WVTT.
Definitely not looking like the first day of spring here in the Twin Tiers. A lot of blowing snow. It kind of was a blizzard-like conditions earlier today. The high only went up to about 26 degrees overnight tonight. We're going to see temperatures in the teens, about 14 degrees overnight with some more snow showers. And then tomorrow the high is only going to be up into about the high 20s. 27 degrees is the high tomorrow. Still snow and wind and ice conditions here in the Twin Tiers, and it doesn't look like we're going to get a break. Next week looks like we're going to have a lot of snow and blowing wind and rain, just conditions we don't want to start off spring with, but can't change the weather, can we? I'll have full weather details for you later on.
Global news update on WVTT.
The unemployment rate for veterans dropped last year. That's according to a report out of Wednesday from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. But vets still lag behind non-vets in the job market. The unemployment rate for veterans who have served in the U.S. military since the terroristic attacks of September 11th dropped by 2.2 percent points in 2012 to 9.9%. But that's still higher than last year's 7.9% unemployment rate for non-veterans, according to the report. Pope Francis held an audience Wednesday with fraternal delegates in the Clementine Hall of the Vatican Palace. The meeting comes a day after he was officially inaugurated as the 266th pontiff of the Catholic Church. Francis is calling on world leaders and worshipers to protect the weakest in society. Well, French police searched the Paris home of International Monetary Fund Chief Christine Lagarde on Wednesday. Lagarde is accused of wrongly supporting a businessman in his dispute with a French bank. Accusers say Lagarde gave Bernard Tapie preferential treatment because he's a supporter of former French President Nicolas Sarkozy. Lagarde has denied any wrongdoing. President Obama is a big basketball fan, and before heading to Israel on Tuesday, he filled out his bracket for the NCAA tournament. The president chose Louisville, Indiana, Ohio State, and Florida to reach the Final Four this year. That means he has two #1 seeds, a #2 seed, and a #3 seed. President Obama likes Ohio State to win the West region and the Florida Gators to win the South. Last year, the president picked two of the Final Four correctly. The president has Baylor, Connecticut, Notre Dame, and California in the Final Four of his women's bracket. Crews rescued a worker trapped in a subway construction site in Manhattan's Upper East Side. He got stuck in thick mud 75 feet below street level on Tuesday night. Crews used a backhoe and hand tools to dig him out. About 160 firefighters took part in the effort. After 4 hours, he was freed and taken to the hospital. An official says he was conscious but likely had hypothermia. At least 2 firefighters were hurt in the rescue effort and were taken to the hospital. Well, a Maryland school district wants to put a limit on hugging at elementary schools. It's part of a new safety rule being considered at St. Mary's County Public Schools. Administrators say it's an effort to keep the system's youngest children safe. Under the rules, any school visitor would be restricted from hugging students while visiting elementary school campuses.
Being on a playground and having a stranger come up and hug your children makes some parents very uncomfortable.
When I volunteer, I've been registered and everything, and I still like to talk to the kids and say, hey, how you doing?
Another rule says parents would not be allowed to bring homemade treats to class because of some students and their food allergies. The St. Mary County School Board will review the recommendations. They are expected to vote on the new security policy before the end of the school year. And as we said, it's the first day of spring, and that means cherry blossoms in Japan. They are in full bloom just now with a spell of unusually warm weather for them, not here for us. The weather agencies announced the start to cherry blossom season over the weekend, 2 weeks earlier than last year. The blossoms only last for about a couple of weeks, so today's public holiday will have been the ideal chance to check out the cherry trees. New information from FedEx reporting a steep drop in earnings today. The company's net income fell 31% in the period ending February 28th to $361 million. It's the third straight quarter that the company has reported lower earnings. The Memphis-based express delivery company also raised red flags about global economic weakness, with shipments to and from Asia declining. Company officials say customers are choosing slower shipping methods in an effort to save money. FedEx will cut air capacity to and from Asia starting April 1st. Former Florida Governor Charles Christis is positioned to take back his old seat in 2014, according to a new survey. A Quinnipiac University poll shows that he would beat out current GOP Governor Rick Scott in a hypothetical election showdown. And 2012 presidential candidate Rick Perry may run for the White House in 2016, but the Texas governor first has to decide if he will try and hang out on his current job for a third term. A spokesman for Perry told ABC News the governor will announce later this year if he's setting his sights on Washington again. Perry dropped out of the 2012 race just 2 days before the South Carolina primary. It's time for stocks. Let's take a look now at the WVTT Wall Street Wrap-Up. It's brought to you by News Radio 96.7 WVTT. The Dow was up about 56 points to close at 14,512. NASDAQ was up about 25 points to close at 3259. And the S&P 500 up about 10 points to close at 1559. We have much more coming your way. This is Twin Tiers Evening News.